So can an inch make all the difference in you hitting the longest drives of your life? So I think a lot of us have heard that an inch can make a huge difference. And what I'm going to talk about in today's video is how changing your tee height by an inch could absolutely transform your driving and get you hitting the ball longer, and I mean a lot longer, than ever before. So if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch my content. If you're enjoying it while you're watching today, give it a little thumbs up, and I'd love you to hit the subscribe button below, ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. But for now, let's see what difference an inch can make. So the old saying, tee it high and let it fly, might be an old saying, but it doesn't mean it's still not a very, very good saying. And I think most of us are aware, and just in case you're not, to hit our longest drives, we need to get, ideally, a higher launch angle with lower backspin, which will keep the ball going forward longer, maximize our carry, and also get us a nice little bit of rollout at the end. So I'm going to hit a couple of shots initially, very much how I see golfers tee the ball. Then I'm going to talk about why we get the numbers we do. And then we're going to go really extreme and change the tee height by a whole inch. Now, I know that sounds nothing, but when you see the difference in the height, visually it can be quite startling, and I absolutely understand why some of you golfers out there might be a little bit wary to begin with. But I'm going to start off with, I'm going to use the Castle tees, so they're preset. So I've got the yellow tee under the ball at the moment, is 1 3/4 inches high. It's a little bit higher on my mat because of the tee it goes into. But let me just hit a couple with this, and then we'll have a look at some numbers and see how driver performs for me off that yellow tee. So it's a good strike, and it's very, very accurate. And I'll be honest, I would probably take that off every single tee. Now, it might not be worth me doing anymore with that tee height, but maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Maybe I'm teeing it too high. But we will see a difference in what I'm producing there. So let's go one more off that yellow tee. Again, bullet straight. Love that. Very low, very flat. So both of those very, very accurate. But let's look at the distances for the averages, and let's look at some other numbers that are important in there and see why, as good as they were, might be costing me a little bit of distance. Okay, so my average club head speed was 104.4 mile an hour, which is a little bit back of where I would normally be. Now the good news though is the ball speed was very good at just under 156, and the smash factor at 1.49 is very good. We can see the angle of attack, a positive number on TrackMan as the club's been moving up. So even on that little tee there, the club's travelled up 1 degree, and if we're going to maximise our distance, we do want to hit up, but you'll see shortly that's not as much as I would normally do. The launch angle's been 9 degrees, backspin 2,485, carry distance 244, average and total 277, so pretty good. So we look at, for my angle of attack there, it's saying that I should be 257 and 279, so not hugely off at 243 and 274. And we can certainly see the contact point on both of those was really, really good. So like I said, those were not bad drives at all. You know, I'd be nearly 280 yards in the middle of the fairway. But we did notice there that I still got the club travelling kind of up through impacts, even though it was very, very marginal. What I generally see with a lot of golfers when they tee low like that is they actually get the club moving down, which then actually becomes even less productive. And I'm going to put some numbers up now, just showing the difference between the club travelling 2 degrees down and 4 degrees up at some various club head speeds. Right, so let's just highlight the importance of whether the club's moving up or down. So we see here at 80 mile an hour club head speed, if you were hitting down 2 degrees, we'd be carrying the ball about 171 yards, whereas if we move to 4 degrees up, that jumps up to 183 yards. So I know that doesn't sound huge, but when you're starting at 171, that's a big pickup. Likewise, at 90 mile an hour, hitting 2 degrees down, we see a big carry at 204, which is quite impressive, and a lot of golfers have been more than happy with that. But as we go up to 4 degrees up, we see that jump up to 217. So again, a nice 13-yard pickup. So at 100 mile an hour club head speed, hitting down 2 degrees, we can see a carry of 237, whereas we then move to 4 degrees up, we see that optimal carry would jump to 250. But notice how the spin rates change so much to be optimum. One going from there, from just under 3,000, just under 2,400. And for any of you golfers who swing a little bit quicker at 110, when we're hitting down 2 degrees, our optimal carry, should be 268 yards. But then moving back into hitting up 4 would bring that carry all the way up to 282. Right, so we can see there, it's only really 13 to 14 yards, irrelevant of club speed, as long as your backspin and launch are perfect. But the biggest thing I think it changes is our delivery and our strike. So very often as the ball goes lower, golfers tend to hit it a bit lower on the face, maybe launch it too low, spin it too much. So it actually becomes a bit bigger than that gap because most golfers don't optimize their drives for how they tee the height anyway and then deliver the club. So I'm now going to take my tee height from the little yellow castle tee, which was 1 3/4 inches, all the way up to orange, which is 2 3/4. Now, the massive difference here is when you put your club behind the golf ball, the entire ball is above the club head. Now, I'm actually not going to change my ball position, so it's always for me kind of opposite my left armpit. I'm going to keep it in exactly the same place. Now, the big worry for a lot of golfers when they tee the ball very high like this is when they swing and they're used to hitting down, they get the ball off the top of the club and it pops up in the air, a bit like a lob wedge, goes 50, 60 yards, and more distressingly for golfers, just leaves some horrible marks on top of the club. So what we need to understand is we still want to try and hit it out the middle of the face, maybe just slightly high. So, you've got to try and say, right, how am I going to get the middle of the club? And you can see straight away there, I'm going to get the club moving more up. So if you are somebody who's teed it low, stop skying it, when you go and practice, tee it nice and high like I'm talking about here. I mean, this isn't a whole inch higher. You might not go a full inch higher, but try it and really work on that strike. And I'm going to hit a couple now. I'm going to see what a big difference in distance an inch can make. So exactly the same tee height. So we can see 107 mile an hour club speed, 160 ball speed. I've now hit up 2.6 degrees. 9.3 degree launch, 2,100 spin, 256 carry, and 293 total. So that was a bit different straight away, wasn't it? And certainly there, I didn't try and swing any quicker, but I'm going to show why even that higher tee might just pick you up a bit of club head speed, not just deliver the club better. So let's go one more. So 105 mile an hour, so very similar to the first one. 156 launch, 3.2 degrees up, 11 degree launch, 2,300 spin, and very consistent numbers. Right, so let's look at the average with the tee height going up an inch, and let's see the difference it's made with how far I hit the big dog. Okay, so it was only 2 drives, granted, but club head speed was 106 mile an hour. Ball speed was 158, So smash factor at 1.49. So the smash was exactly the same. I actually hit up 2.9 degrees instead of 1.1. The launch angle went from 9.2 to 10.2. Spin went from 2,500 to 2,200. And the average carry went from 244 to 257. And total from 277 to 290. So obviously my averages were longer with 256 and 287, but look how my optimal distances moved up to 266 and 289. So the ability to hit up meant that the ball could go further. To be fair, the strikes maybe just fractionally lower off the face, but again, very, very centered. So we can see the two dots on the right-hand side nearest the middle of the fairway with a lower tee. So potentially a slightly straighter shot, but very, very consistent with the little draw with the higher tee as well. So we could see there, a nice little pickup in distance from teeing the ball higher. Now, what did we see from the numbers? You know, yes, we saw more carry, we saw more total, and we saw that predominantly because of higher launch, less spin, so lower spin, and the club travelling up more. But interesting, we also saw a little pickup in clubhead speed, didn't we? Not a lot. And to be fair, I was kind of expecting to hit up a little bit more and see a bit of a bigger jump. So the reason we saw the little jump is with the long drivers nowadays, as they start down, they really push hard into their lead side and then they push up and away. And that, as well as creating the club moving up, it also creates more speed in the club head. So definitely when the ball's teed up higher, you have to use that force with the ground better to get the club moving up. So there is also a little secret there to just unlocking a little bit more club head speed. But if you can do that, swing quicker. Maintain your strike, obviously is important, but swing a little bit quicker, hit up more, launch the ball higher, and spin the ball less. That is absolutely the recipe for hitting longer drives. So let's put that into practice one more time. So I've teed it high. Now, let's just let it fly. So there we go, 108 mile an hour clubhead speed, maybe not quite as good a strike, but we can see hitting up 3.2 degrees, launching at 13.3, backspin at 2,450, carrying nearly 270, and rolling out 291. And who wouldn't want those kind of drives? Right then guys, so I started the video by saying, you know, how much of a difference could an inch make? Okay, I think it was pretty good. You know, I'd be quite impressed with that improvement. A little pickup in distance, but like I said, it's going to change by moving that tee height up, maybe not a whole inch for a lot of you, might be too much to begin with, but wherever you're currently at, just creep up a bit more, then a bit more, then a bit more. And undoubtedly, I think as you get better with it, you will start swinging a fraction quicker. I don't doubt that you'll generate a bit more club head speed. You'll definitely hit up more. You'll launch the ball higher. You'll spin the ball less. And that way you'll carry the ball further than ever and get it running out longer than it's ever done before. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed the video today and you don't currently subscribe, I'd love you to hit that button below. Ring the little bell next to it and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.